Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for visiting Little Bighorn Battlefield National Monument on YouTube. My name is Tanya, playing for the Gardner. I am an enrolled member of the Crow tribe. I was raised here in Montana on the Crow Indian Reservation. We also call ourselves Absalaga. That translates into children of the large-beaked bird. I'm an interpretive ranger here, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation on battle tactics and weapons utilized by the Plains warriors. And we're coming to you today from the Visitor Center, and I chose this location because behind me is a beautiful but very stunning painting by a local artist by the name of J.K. Ralston. It's called Call of the Bugle, and it was painted in 1965. So I chose this to be my backdrop for my presentation today. I'm going to be talking first, before we get into all the tactics, about women warriors. What's a women warrior? A women warrior is a woman on the plains who is basically a warrior. She lives her life as a warrior. She is going to battles. She is participating in horse raids, and she is hunting. She's not a female that just happens upon a battle. She's a woman that lives the warrior life. One woman we're going to talk about is one, her name is Pine Leaf. Pine Leaf was born approximately 1800 and died in 1854. She was born Grovon, and they call themselves Atsina. Their reservation is located in northern Montana, and she was born Grovon. She was raised Crow or Absalaga, like me. Edwin Thompson Dinig would refer to her, who was a fur trader and who knew her, as a woman who was fearless in everything. She was a proficient at hunting and warfare. She was a woman who owned guns, bows, lances, war horses, and she had 2 to 3 wives, and she lived her life as a warrior. Another woman warrior is Brown Weasel Woman. Brown Weasel Woman was Blackfeet. The Blackfeet Indian Reservation is located in northwestern Montana, and that reservation borders Canada. They're also known as Pigan, and they call themselves Pikuni. Brown Weasel Woman's name was Pai Tamaka. She was born approximately 1800, and she died in 1850. She is defined as a female who didn't follow the regular expectations of girls or women. Today we would call her kind of a tomboy. She was accomplished in hunting, and she was an accomplished warrior. On one occasion, she saved her father from being killed when an enemy war party attacked them. And she had many successful horse raids, hunting trips, and the chief of her tribe bestowed the name Running Eagle upon her as a sign of respect and honor. And that would be her name in her death, is Running Eagle. The third female woman warrior we're going to talk about is Yellow-Haired Woman. She was a Cheyenne. She was born in 1826 and she died in 1925. She was the daughter of Chief Stanson Timber. She grew up and lived on the Tongue River Reservation, and today we know that as Northern Cheyenne. She went into battle first because she didn't want to live anymore. In 1867, her husband, Walking Bear, will shoot himself in a gun misfire, and it devastated her, and she didn't want to live anymore. In 1868, she rode along, Yellow-Haired Woman rode along with Cheyenne warriors against Major General Forsyth in Colorado at Breacher's Island. During this time, she charged along with the warriors, and every charge swirling around, and every time she came back with holes in her dress where the bullets missed her. She didn't die that day, and after that, she was well on her way to becoming a woman warrior. The women of the plains were tough, protective, very strong and brave, and they were far from being the helpless, fearful pushovers that we see in Hollywood today. Now, I'm going to be talking about tactics and weapons of the plains, and in many native cultures and in my culture, in the Crow culture, I'm not able to touch weapons that were used in battle or arrows and things like that unless I was a warrior and they were mine. So I want you to know that everything I'm touching today are for educational purposes only. Nothing here was utilized in the battle, and everything here is reproduced so that I can tell you about it today. One of the weapons I'm going to be telling you about is a close-quarter hand-to-hand combat weapon called a Gunstock War Club. And it's just that, it's a gunstock. You see many items utilized in trade. You have metal knife blades, brass tacks, you have copper wire here, and you have beads. These are all obtained in trade. Just to show you what I mean when I say Gunstock War Club. Gunstock War Club. Later, the warriors liked this model so much, they liked this style of war club, that they will carve this out to look like a gunstock. And it was a very close quarter hand-to-hand combat weapon. It's intimidating, it's brutal, and it's deadly. Another hand-to-hand combat weapon is this right here. This is a club or war stick. This has a rock in this right here. There's glass beads on this. And Two Moons will state, when he's talking about the valley fight, he will state that we mowed the soldiers down like a buffalo hunt. We knocked them off their horses and we took their guns. We knocked them off their horses. This item here is a tomahawk. The tomahawk head here is metal. Some of the items like the brass tacks and the beads are all from trade. This is Upper Missouri Tomahawk Head utilized in trade. They're traded all across the country. And this particular weapon here, Gaul will be down in the valley in the first 3 minutes of the battle, down in the valley fight with Reno. Arikara scouts most likely were the ones who killed his family down in the valley. His 2 wives and his 3 daughters will be killed in the first few minutes of this battle. He will take a weapon like this. He will fight and vow to fight in this battle, and he'll survive. He will say, that day my heart was bad. We'll talk about some of the firearms utilized. This is a Sharps rifle. It's a large bore single shot rifle produced from 1848 and then stopped production in 1881. It's a renowned for the long range accuracy, and during the time period it was about $30. If you're proficient with this weapon, you could shoot 8 to 10 rounds per minute. It has a falling or sliding or dropping block here action, and this here would be known for big game and buffalo hunts because there was no limit to the cartridge length that could fit into this rifle. And then there was some of these used here in this battle. This weapon here is the Henry. The Henry repeating rifle is a lever action tubular magazine rifle used at the Battle of Little Bighorn and pretty much in the entire frontier of the West. It's a 44 rimfire, breech loading, can hold 15 rounds. You load here, 50 rounds, and you can have one chambered. This was the gun that you load on Sunday and shoot all week. And this is the Henry. It's nicknamed, this is the Yellow Boy carbine, the 1866 Yellow Boy carbine. It's a rimfire 44 caliber. This casing here is bronze and brass. It's made of gunmetal. It's the first center fire to become popular. And this is the Yellow Boy. Now during this battle, there's a plethora of firearms utilized. Their archaeological findings will find Colts, Smith and Wesson, Evans, other Henrys, other calibers of Henrys, Winchesters, Remingtons, Sharps, Springfields, just to name a few that will be utilized on the warrior side. In the last few minutes of the battle, here at Little Bighorn, on Last Stand Hill with Custer and his men, the warriors will take this weapon here, and they will rain arrows down on the soldiers on Last Stand Hill, and they're proficient with this. From the time they're very young boys until the time they're expert marksmen in their early teens. This will be the weapon of choice for warriors in the last few minutes of the battle. Little Bighorn on Last Stand Hill with Custer and his soldiers. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Please leave a comment and please make it nice. Have a great day and thank you.